Welcome to Darrell Brooks Jr. Pity Party Live here at Sight Sounds Flavors on YouTube, sightsoundsflavors.com. If you happen to watch us on replay at any point in time, give it a thumbs up if you like it. Please subscribe to the channel and leave a comment. And if you're watching it live, feel free to leave a comment, a question. If you're a regular, I will answer you first. If you're new and you want your question to go to the top, then I suggest you buy a super like. I don't care what you put, $1, $2, it doesn't matter, but just do that so that you can be up there with the regulars. And if you're new and you just want to listen, then that's fine too. So I haven't done any new Darrell Brooks videos because honestly, I've got so many clips in the can that I don't know which to do next. I've done some that are related to Dawn. I've done some that are related to Dr. Mary Edwards. I've done some that are related to the interactions between Darrell and prosecution team, between Darrell and the judge. So I just have so many clips right now. I have, just to give you an idea, I have 71 clips to choose from. And I've got kind of like a little bit of that creative block because I feel like I've done, because before I had a bunch of videos, I erased them and then I kind of reformatted Sight Sounds Flavors, and then the demand came back and people just wanted to hear more of the commentary. So I was like, well, let me go ahead and give the people what they want, right? Because that's part of having a good channel. That's the kind of channel that I want to watch. I'm not going to watch a channel that I don't like. So I started, putting stuff up again. And now I actually have an old external drive that's got all the old videos, and I'm not going to re-upload the old videos because to me that's weak. Even though some of those videos had 10, 20, 30,000 views, I'm not going to do that. I mean, I feel like I'm original enough where I can come up with new material and get the views that way. And I was kind of like comparing because what I was trying to do was trying to cover bases without having access to those old videos. And believe it or not, the videos that I've put up in the new incarnation of the channel are almost completely not opposed, but different from the original ones. Now, there's a lot of interest in Dr. Mary Edwards, I've noticed. Out of the 71 clips that I have, I would say about a third are just her. And I never really understood why so many people were fixated on that one particular, because first of all, she was not a witness. She wasn't there when this happened. And honestly, a lot of people don't even believe that's really his grandmother. I mean, but there lies a little bit of the kind of the interaction, the discussion, the sort of dividing, divergent opinions. A lot of people say it is his grandmother. Other people say it's not his grandmother. A lot of people also want me to interview Erica, which I don't know if that's something that I want to do, only because I feel like the trial is kind of like in her past. Norman Nix did a very good interview with her, but I've heard some people that said they didn't like Norman's interview with her because he didn't ask, this question or that question. And I have to be honest with you, I think Norman did a fantastic job, but an interviewer can never interview a person and answer everything or get every answer to every question. It's just not possible. I would interview Dawn, to be honest with you. Some people have asked me to interview Dawn. I don't know that Dawn would do an interview with me, though, to be honest with you, because I'm very skeptical of her. I don't really like her that much. That's okay. I mean, there's this whole misconception that you only interview people that you like, or that people that give interviews only give interviews to people they like. That's not true. I mean, there's so many politicians, musicians, artists, writers that give interviews to not only people they don't like, but people they've never even heard of. I mean, they may not even know what the person's all about, but if the money's right, you have to pay for interviews. I mean, obviously, well, not obviously. Sometimes you don't pay for interviews. It depends, really. Like, for example, with Strength Addicts, with my bodybuilding channel, you don't usually pay bodybuilding people or powerlifting people because, it's a small sort of niche. It's like something that you see at like maybe a small festival or something like that. But if it's a big show like the Olympia or the Arnold Classic, then maybe you would. But even there, I don't do that. But, for someone like Dawn, who I don't know from a hole in the wall, I might pay her, possibly. I don't know. But the thing is that I don't know that I would want to do the interview because she would probably want the questions up front. And when she looked at the questions, honestly, she wouldn't want to answer. And if I was her lawyer, for example, I would tell her not to do the interview because I mean, look, guys, a lot of people want to see her get charged. Is she going to get charged? No, I don't think. I mean, not at this point, but I mean, was she kind of an accessory after the fact? I mean, yeah, I think she was, but I mean, she didn't get charged, you know. Still, though, if I was her, I wouldn't, I don't know, I wouldn't advise her to, do an interview. Plus, I mean, here's the other thing. She's probably talking to, I would imagine, I know a lot of you don't think it's going to happen, but look, there are documentaries, there are miniseries for OJ. Now, granted, Darrell Brooks was not a Hall of Fame football player, or a movie star, but there are movies and documentaries for every last serial killer, two-bit hustler that's had a big trial. And so, as if the crime weren't enough, the stage antics that he had, and the fact that this was such a televised trial and it's become sort of a cult sensation on YouTube and Reddit and TikTok, it's going to happen. And so I would imagine that Dawn is already in some sort of negotiations, if not maybe at least on some informal level, talking to movie houses, publishing companies. And I don't think that if she signed, that the Son of Sam laws would come into play with her, because she's not Darrell. She's his mom, but it's not Darrell. It's somebody else. So, and we all know that Dr. Mary Edwards, whether she is or is not really his grandmother, got a big opportunity to self-promote on there. And, she's the type of person, again, I don't know her from Peter, Paul, or Mary, but based on what I saw and the way that she grandstanded so insensitively, then I would not be surprised in the least if she got contacted. Plus, that roommate that Darrell lived with, who had glowing things to say about him, and made sure to try to show the judge and the jury a different side of Darrell, she will probably get hit up. Erica might get hit up. Erica's friend might get hit up. Nicholas Kirby would probably get hit up. I mean, people could get hit up to be said, look, we're going to do this documentary and we're going to let you play yourself. You, Nicholas Kirby, you could be Nicholas Kirby doing a reenactment of your trial footage. And whoever plays Darrell Brooks will ask you questions, and you will recreate it. And for that, you'll probably have 10 or 15, maybe 20, maybe 25 lines, and you'll get a SAG card. So you'll be a member of the Screen Actors Guild, meaning that you will be set for life. You'll be on the union pension plan, healthcare plan, all you got to do is say 5 words, and he's going to get probably like 10 times that, plus a nice little paycheck, and that's going to be fine. I mean, Nicholas Kirby didn't do the crime. Nicholas Kirby, in fact, tried to stop the crime to a certain extent. So there's nothing against him making a buck off of that. Erica Patterson is as much a victim as the people at the parade. And she was tormented by this guy her whole life. There's no reason she can't make something off this. Dawn, who, could have been charged, I mean, morally should not make anything off this, but probably will. I mean, so and you go on SoundCloud, I'll tell you something else. SoundCloud, I believe either Darrell's label hopefully put it up, but if Darrell put it up and those songs are still there, and if you go to SoundCloud, all of his songs, I think he's got like 11 or 12 songs, and they're atrocious songs. I don't listen to rap myself, but I know what good rap is. I don't listen to a lot of gospel, but I know what good gospel is. I like the Perrys. I've been to a couple Perrys concerts. That's Christian gospel music. And if it doesn't sound like the Perrys, it's probably not very good. You know what I mean? So it doesn't mean that, just because I'm not a fan of rap, that I can't tell what good rap is from bad rap. Darrell's rap is trash. The loops are trash. The effects are trash. The samples are trash. It's trash. But because of what he did and because of the stage antics that he had, that crap is getting views because, they do it by views and downloads and that sort of thing. Like I said, I haven't seen it on SoundCloud. I don't know if it's on iTunes, but I know it's on SoundCloud. I don't know if it's on Spotify. I don't know if it's on iTunes or the other ones. What's the other one? Panda or something. but it is on SoundCloud, and so it may be making money. Where's that money going? Now, if it's the label that put it up, well, then the label has a right to make a profit because they probably paid him in advance, paid him the studio time, had no idea that he was going to do what he did. They own those songs and they can make money off those songs. But the music, although horrible from a production standpoint, from an artistic standpoint, now is going to get a lot of action because of what happened. There are people on eBay, which I mean is mind-boggling to me, that have been asking they have like threads there, like they're like message boards, asking if they can buy the clothing that was worn by Darrell Brooks during the trial. That's disgusting. But they don't want it because it's worn clothes just by anyone. They want it because he wore it, because it was a highly televised trial. We saw the couch, Eric Murdoch's couch, and some other accessories sold for like $80,000. Why anybody would want the couch that murderer sat on is beyond me. But there's a interest in that sort of thing. What's the point of this? The point of what? Of this live chat? The point of this live chat is me just talking. But what's the point of auctions like that? I don't know. I mean, there's an interest in serial killers. There's an interest in things serial killers have owned. Richard Ramirez, the Night Stalker, had these little oil paintings, and he sold those through a third party back when Craigslist was a thing, and sold for a lot of money. Pogo, which is John Wayne Gacy, who killed over 30 people and dressed up as a clown, he had oil paintings and oil pastels, and he would sell those. And they weren't very good, but because he was a serial killer, people bought them. Danny Rawling, the Gainesville Ripper, actually got married to his agent, and then became his side writer, Sandra London. She went on and appeared on Oprah and a whole bunch of things. Amanda keeps saying, what's the point of this? Amanda, I'm doing a live chat. If you don't like it, then sayonara. I'm not going to keep reading your question, though, because you've already repeated it twice. And Amanda might be what you call a troll. But the point is, though, is that we're going to see a lot of these book deals, movie deals. You're going to start seeing, I mean, nowadays, print is no longer a thing, really. But I remember a time when I was a kid, I'd go to Walden Books, or Allmax Books, Walden Books. And you would see all sorts of soft-cover books, hardcover books. There'd be in stores. Barnes & Nobles, they're still around. They're shrinking, but they're still around. What's the other one? Borders, I think, went out of business. But you're going to start seeing them. Even at certain... magazines are also kind of going away too, aren't they? But I guess like comic book stores still may have them. But you might see these magazines are kind of like, they come out kind of like Life magazine puts them out, but not Life. Obviously, Life doesn't put out this kind of trash. But it's kind of like a National Enquirer type situation. But it's in a nice bound magazine, and it's about some sort of current event. And usually the current event deals with a murder or a mystery. Unfortunately for the John Bonet unsolved murder, which is still unsolved, which is pretty horrible, they put out a lot of those. Who puts them out, if they're authorized or not, who gets the money? I mean, that's a big question mark. But I used to see them all the time at convenience stores like 7-Elevens and 7-Eleven knockoffs, and I would see them at the aisles of some supermarkets, and I can see that happening. And I can also see somebody taking some of the words that Darrell said during the trial, like grounds or, rush to judgment, put that on a shirt and slap Darrell's image on it and sell them. And again, if Darrell's making money off of it, the families can come after that. But what if it's not Darrell? Obviously, it's not going to be Darrell, because how's Darrell going to make the T-shirt and sell the T-shirt? But if it's some, scuzzball out there trying to make a buck, Darrell's not going to go after him because Darrell's in jail for 800 years. But they're still making money off of the tragedy. And, I don't know if the families or the estates of the deceased will have attorneys that will go after, or will have, folks that monitor, Etsy and eBay and Amazon and whatnot to see if that sort of merchandise goes up for sale. But the reality of the matter, though, there's going to be a lot of people profiting off of this tragedy, and I think there's going to be a lot of litigation to come. Now, one of the good things that channels like this one and other channels that I've seen that actually want to help and engage in discussion is that if we see something like that, and I encourage my viewers, if you see something like that, but the thing is, who do you contact? That's the thing. Like, I would hope that the families would have some sort of, I don't know. I mean, that's the thing. Somebody or an office or I don't know. That's what I'm talking about. To monitor these types of sales and see what happens, because I can guarantee you that Darrell Brooks Jr., like all of the serial killers that I've listed, is going to figure out a way to get with somebody. How's it going, Robin? Hello to you too. Is going to figure out a way to get the same way that Alec Murdaugh figured out a way to get a third party, just some random fellow prisoner, to accept commissary money from the family and then give it to him. These guys, look, all they have is time. Alex Murdaugh, you got, Darrell Brooks Jr., you got Suge Knight is in jail. I mean, all they know how to do is scheme. Because what else can they do? They're not going to come out. I don't know how long Suge Knight's got now, but that guy gets like 20 years like nothing, and because he just keeps getting himself in trouble. Now, Darrell Brooks Jr., thank God, isn't getting out this time. But a lot of people say, what if they had given him real sentences for his past crimes? Maybe he wouldn't have been out to do what he did in Waukesha. But, there's a lot of people that are in and out of the system. You know what I mean? They're rich, they're poor, they're old, they're young. They just, once they, get caught up in it, they can't seem to get themselves out. I'm not suggesting it's an illness or it's not their responsibility, but they just, that's the thing. And so Darrell Brooks Jr., the good thing is he'll never get out. So the bad thing then is he's going to have a lot of time to figure out ways to make money. And, in his case, though, I think that it's going to be pretty much impossible. But then again, there is no such thing as pretty much impossible. I'm just curious. I think now everything is still very, very raw. I think now it's going to probably take another year or two, maybe 3 or 4, maybe 5 or 6. I don't know. But there's going to come a point in time when we're going to start seeing the movies, the documentaries, the books. You're going to see Dawn and Dr. Mary. But see, Dr. Mary is in her 80s. So for her, it will have to be sooner than later, because she may live to 120, but I would think that time is not on her side. So if she's going to make her move, she's going to make it now or very soon. But like I said, she already had like 2 seasons worth of podcasts. She put out a cookbook. She put out another book. I mean, she put out a lot of merchandise right around the time that she made the appearance in court. And that's why so many people were rubbed the wrong way by her, including myself. So again, to me, the live chat here is called Darrell Brooks Pity Party Live. But, we're really not talking so much about Darrell Brooks' pity party as much as we're talking about how much money people associated to him, or people that see blood in the water and have no moral compass and have no spine, are going to try to make. So let him make a few bucks, is still going to be in a cage for the rest of his life. And I agree with you, Robin, but the thing is, if he's going to make money, it needs to go to the families. It needs to go, if not all of it, most of it to them. But again, how much will he make? I don't know. What I think is going to happen is that his mom, his grandmother, maybe Erica, they're going to make the big money. And they're not going to have to give it to the families. And so I think Erica would actually give a big portion of it to them, because as a victim, I think she would. Dawn is not a victim. Dr. Mary Edwards is not a victim. Maybe some may say that they are. I don't think that they are. I don't think that they would share with the victims. And I really honestly think that they would have no moral scruples with signing on to a project like that. So in any event, I look forward to reading your comments. I think we've covered a nice array of topics here. And we'll be doing another Darrell Brooks Pity Party Live probably in a few days or something like that. I would like to do more lives. I know I said I was going to do them every Tuesday, but, then life happened. But we're going to do more of these. And I appreciate Robin coming in. I appreciate Amanda trolling us. I appreciate everyone else that stopped by. And as we do more of these, and like I said, I have 71 clips to choose from. So I will put up another couple of clips with some commentary, but especially for the holiday, I'm not doing absolutely anything for Christmas except for being here in my private office in Middletown, Louisville, Kentucky. So I will put out more content. And I do have a cold right now. I'm a little under the weather. I've had a cold for about a week, but I'm now more or less better. More or less. I mean, I've been coughing and weaving over here, but I'm getting better. So I appreciate the 7 or 8 people that have been here the whole time. And we have three people have given thumbs up. I mean, it is like 9 o'clock on a Saturday, so totally unannounced live. So I do appreciate that. I appreciate the few live comments that I received, and hope to get a lot of live comments and a lot of thumbs up, and maybe 1 or 2 subscribers on the replay side. But thank you so much for watching the Darrell Brooks Pity Party live here at the Sight Sounds Flavors YouTube channel. Peace out, bye.